at hbal.org.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer, Jake Foreman. Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NIPCO. This is On the Block.
That it is. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Lots to get to on a busy Thursday here in the capital city. Austin Norman and Eric Strickland coming at you from 1040 O Street. Jay Foreman's still a little bit under the weather. But, Stricky, that's the beauty of this three-man crew. When one of us is down, the other two are there to pick him up.
To hold him up. Yep, that's exactly right, my guy. And it is definitely it's a beautiful day outside, and it's sad that Jay is not able to be a partaker of it. And we've already missing him. So we're just getting into a good flow and a good rhythm. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like when you have a good team and a good combination, whether it be running back, wide receiver, quarterback, or you have a good group that you're enjoying working with, and you're just kind of coming together. Think about it like in an instance with like what happened in Brooklyn. You didn't get to see Kyrie, Ben Simmons, and KD at all, or even Harden. Like how long it took for that combination to come together. Same thing in the early stages at Phoenix. Right. You didn't really get to see Beal and Booker, and it's some weirdness about that combination not being able to come together. And yeah, man, we got a nice little thing going here on the block, and we again thank you guys as well as NEPCO and our wonderful sponsors. And we're gonna get to see like it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy now. We're literally in Thirsty Thursday with Kevin Meyer.
Smack dab in the middle of our show.
Right down in the middle of our show now.
Yeah.
See, I love it.
How about that?
So it's all coming together. So we'll add him to the mix. So we're looking forward to that.
That we will. Might even have to talk some sports with Uncle Kev. He's known to fire off the takes from time to time. A couple things from our starter Heyman Jewelers text line here before we get going. John and Cortland, nice to see you. We will pass the message along. Thanks for stopping by the station. Hope to see you out at Buffalo Wings and Rings. But Stricky Thunderknot Collins gets us kicked off in the right way. He says, I'm so excited. Now we can pick up post-game where Harrison cut you off last night. No. Don't blame Harrison. He did the right thing to keep us on schedule, make sure the early break prima donnas weren't thrown off in their routine or rhythm when they came in. So Harrison did the right thing. He did his job. But Stricky, let's do pick up right where we left off. For those who missed post-game last night, brought to you by Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical, who at one point, they're still out there. They're still right out our window over there. It's out the production studio window. But shout out Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical, as well as Lincoln Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits for their sponsorship of our post-game coverage after every Nebraska men's basketball home game. 2-touchdown win, 86-72 for Nebraska over Washington last night.
2 touchdowns.
Two tutties.
From what it was looking like in the first
down
half
10
to the second, it's absolutely amazing. Keep going. Break it down.
Washington goes 7 of its first 7 from 3. Bear K blocks one.
Really,
they make their next one.
Without the block.
Yeah. 8 of their 8 attempts that they put up toward the rim, actually hit the rim, went in, including Wilhelm Breidenbach making one early on and pointing at the Nebraska bench after he did it, which we missed in real time because the broadcast was still on Illinois Rutgers, but you see it if you watch the highlights back. Nebraska's just trying to fight and to stay in there, Strick. And one thing that I think is even more impressive about the comeback now, with even more time to sit back and digest it, is Nebraska didn't make the comeback without this guy, but stayed within arm's reach. With Juwan Gary on the bench from the U8 on, he commits the charge, then he fouls great Osibor. He's done for the first half at the 7:50 mark. Washington got the lead up to 13 points, 15 points, I think, at one junction as well. But Nebraska was able to hang in there with probably their second most valuable player on the bench. They didn't make the comeback then, but just how important were those last 8 minutes of the first half for Nebraska not to let that lead balloon with Juwan out?
Yeah, it was extremely important. And the reason why it was important is because you just had just scrappy plays, timely buckets, solid execution just to keep it. Like there's times, Austin, where there are teams that are going to just have that kind of run when they're shooting. Like, and a lot of it was they were just getting good looks. They knew the rotations and how Nebraska was going to cover and what they were going to switch, and making the pass before the switch, which causes you to have to do something on the backside, drag a guy out just a little bit further, but with the quick pass. So now it's a longer recover to the backside. And so there was then skipping, and then there was a drive, and then there was a kick for it. Like, they were doing a lot of that action early on, and it was getting them good looks. Hence, you have 7 for 7 or 7-8, but really 8-shot attempts that went towards the basket were literally good. They just happened to be on one. As a team that's dealing with that issue, Austin, you just have to really movies like Dune, they have these things like called sandstorms. When the sandstorm happens, you just go and find a spot, a crevice in a hill, put a tent, and just wait it out. Like, there's just stay in the game. Don't allow yourself, because you got to look at it. They shot the ball absolutely well themselves. It wasn't just that Nebraska was playing horribly. If you look at their first half box numbers, I mean, they shot 50%, 50%. That's
5
great.
of 10 from 3 in the first half.
That's great. You just got to say, just bear the brunt of what's coming at you.
Brad on our Starter Heyman Jewelers text line says, Nebraska stayed patient. Washington came back to reality. And that's the thing, Strick. We talked about it a little bit on postgame last night, is that on the one hand, yes, Nebraska did just wait it out. But sometimes when you let a team that has some decent players on, I mean, Makai Mason had a career night. I still like Osibor. Harris was okay. But Washington's not an untalented team. Danny Sprinkle's done some really good coaching.
And they out-rebounded him.
They out-rebounded him. It's dangerous to let a team get confident like that. I still think Nebraska would tell you it didn't play up to its standard defensively, like you said, which led to some of those open threes, some miscommunication, some one rotation short sort of thing. But Washington, shooting talent probably isn't that good. They were hot. And the danger is you let them get that hot for 20 minutes. If they sustain that in the first, segment of the second half, you might be in danger. But that's where it's a credit to Nebraska for just waiting it out. They didn't run for cover. They didn't duck and hide. That they stayed in the fight. They kept competing. And then, Strick, I do want to go through that run that started the second half for Nebraska.
So they turned up the heat.
They did.
That's the oven. They got turned up in the second half, and that's what I want you to get into. Get it.
Nebraska's third and fourth points were a layup from Sam Hoiberg. Did not look like a designed play, but tough finish from Sam. Then
shout out to him for continuing to attack. Even though people talk about he's small, he's short, but he went in there and made great finishes and great floaters. Yep. Go ahead.
Including an and one at one point as well. Nebraska's next points, Stricky, they had a 1-4 high. So I don't remember who brought the ball up, but I know it was Bryce on the left wing, Sam on the right, Bear K on the same elbow side as Bryce was, and then Juwan on the opposite elbow. They did an Iverson cut for Bryce Williams. Explain to people what that is.
Yeah, it's kind of like an Iverson cut is normally you may have 1 or 2 picks at the elbow or just below the 3-point line. And instead of going under like Reggie Miller, you would see a lot, he goes over the top, which then you have to make a decision. If you go under that screen or the second screen, then he'll step behind it and he dot your eyes with a 3-point sandwich. Or if you go over the top and you trail it out, it's a catch to a rip and go or to some form of a screen roll or something where he can get to the middle. So yeah, it's a good little action.
I like it for Bryce Williams too, because they set it up with him going from the left wing to the right, his dominant right hand, where he can play make a little bit better too. Except Strick, what they did was as soon as Bryce cleared Berkay, whoever the ball handler was at the top entered it to Berkay, and Bryce curled that second screen, got to the rim. It was a lob from Berkay to Bryce. 2 easy points. No backside help because Sam had cut baseline and replaced his man, followed him out because the ball's there on that left elbow. So you can't just sit and help when there's a 35+% 3-point shooter sitting out there on the wing. So there's 2 points for Nebraska there. They're back within 6. Next points for Nebraska, the acrobatic save by Buick-Gel as he's going out of bounds. And then Strick, 2 things to point out. Number one, I'll nitpick before we get into the good. Berkay saved the ball.
Pause. Berkay. We had a conversation about Berkay between first half and second half.
We did.
What did Stricky say?
SOFT.
As Cottonelle. Charmin, squeeze it. I was very frustrated with some of his inside play early on, but he turned it up second half.
That he did.
Love that. Go.
Including that save.
Yeah.
But then Strick, what stood out to me on the replay watching it, 4 of Nebraska's 5 players ended up in the front court as Nebraska was running its fast break. Berkay never made it on the screen. He saved it and just took a couple kind of walking steps trying to watch the action play out. But that being said, Nebraska got a layup at the rim, missed it. It was a putback for Nebraska. So
yeah, was it Juwan?
It was Juwan on that putback.
Dang it, Jay. Go, and it wasn't even a hard finish. They've got. But
well,
listen,
I think Bryce smoked it and Juwan rebounded it.
Oh, that's what it was. Bryce.
Yeah.
Look, I still wasn't mad at him because the numbers didn't pan out as bad as I in my mind thought it could have. Okay, go ahead.
And then the last play in that sequence, I think it got Nebraska back to within 2 points at 49-47, was the play you brought up on postgame last night because of the hustle. It was Sam Hoiberg diving on the floor on the offense's right wing for a loose ball. Obviously, that's impressive. That's why he's in the game. Nebraska needs more of that. But what impressed me, Strick, was a push-ahead dribble by Raleigh Wooster. It was either that dribble and one more or just that dribble into a shuffle pass to Bryce Williams. Catch, little flip to Juwan Gary for a lob at the rim, 2 quick points. Super easy fast break transition opportunities for Nebraska for 4 quick points, keyed by the defense and the hustle, and that's the recipe for this team.
That's what we've been talking about on the block. This is a team that doesn't have, now I've got to give them credit. They have really been executing because I've seen some sets that they've been running and they've been kind of watching and observing weaknesses or maybe coverages, and they took advantage of it. And you saw that in a nice action that got Bryce to the baseline, couple actions with Berkay as well. So they've been better at execution, but it's that secondary break. Those opportunities, because the defense hasn't been able to get set. And it presents itself with discipline. And I've been seeing a lot more discipline out of this team, not casting up, knowing when to get back out and run a set, knowing when to pursue and probe. You saw a lot of that happening throughout the night. And then as it got late, you saw Washington. I was watching a couple other games, and even like Rutgers, for example, the game before, where they had a 5-point lead. Guy gets into the paint and takes a tough floater. Why? They end up getting the ball back, save the situation, but I was seeing that kind of discipline out of Nebraska. Last thing I also saw in speaking about this part of it was in the past, there was a lot of frustration from Stricky because I'd have my point guard eyes on, and I'd see them go and set screens. I saw Berkay do. I mean, actually, I saw Mia do it one time. I'm like, bruh, you had the freaking 6'2" guy on you, and you go and set a screen. No,
that was the one in transition.
Yes,
yeah, like just run to the rim,
run
big fella.
Straight down the freaking
Put your
middle,
arms here,
hands here, and turn. I was like,
It was
Sorry.
the airplane moment, right?
Yeah. Straight face palm. But they didn't. Burke and Bryce really. Bryce is really maturing for me in handling the ball and knowing where to get in situations. Great shot fakes to shot. He really showed me a full range of his game. But there were a couple of those instances where they ran a pick and roll. They got the mismatch and switch. It was 3 instances particular. Barricade, he literally waves somebody out, goes to the side, and says, "Here, Barricade." It work out. One time he kicks it out for a good shot. The other time he spins with the left and finishes. And then the last time, Bryce, crucial time for this 3 because it opens the lead up. I think they were just at double digits, but it opens it up, I think, to 13. Bryce hits him with a hezzy and pulls and bow, hits the bottom of the draws. Pause. Yeah. That it was good. It was good to see that because that's what helps you to elevate in conference. It helps you to go to the next level. It helps you to position yourself to get into an NCAA opportunity. All of that stuff, by the way that they played that game, because that could have been detrimental to them if they lost.
It absolutely could have. That would have been a quad 2 or 3 type of defeat, which wouldn't have aged well. I do want to jump off just very briefly on your point too about shot selection for Nebraska. Danny from Canopy says that box score is a win every time. GBR way to get a win. The box score numbers do look good. You shoot 53% overall, 11 of 19 from 3 is obviously stellar. You close it out at the free throw line. You're getting kind of murked on the boards in the first half. You get back to within 1 at the end of the game. 5 turnovers in the first half. Less than Nebraska normally does. That's okay. You can live with that. The only turnover Nebraska had in the second half, Strick, was the shot clock violation at the end of the game where they weren't going to shoot. So that's an incredible job of taking care of the ball. But when Nebraska got down 10 points, 13 points, whatever it was, again, I just go back to 2 weeks ago. We see this team press. We see this team force. We see someone or two someones try to just run and gun Nebraska's way back into the game. This team is in a better spot mentally. They trust each other. They know they can't get 10 points back in one possession. And you saw them trust their offense, their skills. And if they ran their sets correctly, they knew Washington wasn't an overwhelming defensive team. They were patient. They got good looks. And that's what kept Nebraska in the game more so than any individual effort.
Absolutely. And then you also saw growth, maturity, and listening to coaching. Because I can tell you for sure that no, I wasn't in there. I wasn't at practice, but I can tell you that's the case. Here's why. I'm very observant, and I can just pick things up by what I see. Let me just make sure, because I do believe that this is the case. Okay. There were multiple opportunities for Burke to take threes. Like, he was literally uncovered, wide open, could have stepped into one, but he didn't. He took the ones that were kick out or set up for him, and he goes 1 for 2. So he didn't take the ones that were out of rhythm,
right?
Out of sequence, whatever you want to call it. He didn't take those. And those are the type of shots that all of them took. And to include the one of the ones that Gary took were good shots. The one he made was crucial second half to literally close the game out. Right?
That was dagger.
The confidence to continue to do that and to know that it's the right shot
at the right time.
At the right time, you're seeing a lot of that too. I'm actually impressed that they've been able to get good shots late clock that they hadn't been able to do early on. It looked like it was in a lot of stuff in disarray, but that wasn't necessarily they really got into some execution, and they knew where they were going to get their shots when it came down to it. Great back doors, great
nice
cutting.
Yeah,
man, great cutting, great curling. Turning corners. They've been really doing a lot better at those things.
Cubsker brings both those points up. He said Esijan shot effectively last night. Williams showed up again. Juwan Gary's kind of in a groove. It was good not watching Nebraska force up a lot of shots simply because the other team was en fuego, kind of what we were talking about. Yeah, I mean, 16 points for Esijan, 4 of 5 from 3 was crucial. Let's talk about Juwan Gary for a sec, though, Strick. He comes off the bench cold in the first half, where he only ends up playing 8 minutes with the 2 fouls, 3 points. He only hit that 1 3-pointer. So then in the second half, he has 14 points on 5 of 7 shooting, 3 of 4 at the free throw line, and then 5 rebounds. Juwan Gary looks so much more comfortable out there playing the role that I think you and I would have envisioned for him when the year began. What do you see that's contributing to a more comfortable Juwan Gary for Nebraska?
I think just understanding in totality who he is, and two, embracing defensive body language. Really, really being good, kind of attacking lanes. He almost got his hands on a couple of balls that really was an opportunity to get a steal or two. And that's good, because I think those are the things that turn his defense into his offense. He really reminds me a little bit of myself, obviously a lot taller, and boy, if I would have got some of that, there would have been trouble. But you can tell there's confidence there. He gets to the free throw line. Everything he's doing, there's some form of confidence. There's some form of rhythm. And you got to like that. He's not turning the ball over. So there used to be where he would turn the corner, would handle, get too deep, and not be able to make a play or not be able to get a good shot up. But he's been doing a lot better with creativity and finding ways to get to the free throw line and the likes of that.
He even did a good job with his left a couple times yesterday as well, which is not something I would have expected from him to begin the year. Back to our starter Heyman Jewelers text line here for a few minutes as we're talking Nebraska men's basketball. Scott in Lincoln says, question for Strick. The Nebraska men's team is known for dominant defensive performances against post, like they played against Zach Edey. So do you think that Nebraska's defense needs to focus on the posts like it has been, or focus on defending the 3-point line as the first priority? Why has it taken Nebraska so long to adjust to teams shooting so much from 3?
There's not many posts in the Big Ten this year that is super dominant. You don't have Klingons, you don't have Edys, you don't have those guys. Where they have to be better is knowing the difference between someone who is looking to pass, set you up, looking to attack, knowing when they're retreating, because a retreat, you've done your job, get the freak out, because otherwise you're creating way too much space and room, and you need to close those lanes down. As you saw, they got a couple of steals on cross-court passes because they didn't get themselves overstretched.
Right.
They're getting better in seeing when it's time to move. They're getting better on side, is not just opening up driving lanes and causing some form of a rotation that's not needed, because a lot of teams are just really driving not to really score and shoot. They're driving to really, and that's what they were doing really good early. So knowing those differences, they're seeming to get a lot better at it. And so I would say stay very dominant on the perimeter, and just be ready to come in, help, rebound, put bodies on guys, and just be solid in that aspect. Securing possessions is going to be a huge key for them. That's something that Texas A&M killed them on last year.
Yeah.
Other teams beat them on. That's where they've been able to be solid, because they've been in great rotations out of the post. But when you're playing perimeter teams, you got to go and find bodies. And that's hard when you've got all that space sometimes.
It's interesting because we've talked a lot about how Nebraska has maintained its defensive principles despite the struggles at this point. And I think there's really 3 ways you can think through defense from Nebraska's perspective. Number 1 is, does Nebraska have the athletes to just match up one-on-one across the board, say stick to your guy and call it good? No, not 1 through 5, and maybe not even when you get onto the bench either. So Nebraska can't just say, yep, go play defense, man-to-man. You've been doing this since middle school. They're not quite good enough, not athletic enough to do it. They need some schematic help to give themselves a shot at creating some sort of advantage. So then it leaves you with one of 2 options, right? The option that Nebraska has taken, bigger team this year, certainly, that Fred Hoiberg has recruited, but with the same principles of get the ball out of the post. We don't want the ball down low because that opens up opportunities for cutters and high percentage shots near the rim. So we will live with kick out threes because we will take the risk that you don't shoot them very well. That's one option. The other option that I think Scott and Lincoln is trying to allude to is what UConn did to Purdue in the national championship game. Was last year. What UConn did It helps when you have, Donovan Clingan in the game. That obviously goes a long way. But as much as Zach Edey was the strength for Purdue and they played through him, what got Zach Edey so open was 4 shooters spacing the floor around him, right? That gave him so much room to operate so many different passing angles for guards, whether it's down low or lobs over the top. So what UConn did was essentially face guard shooters on the perimeter and say, okay, Zach Edey, you go get 30.
Mm-hmm.
And he did.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Edey's numbers were great, but Braden Smith didn't kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Fletcher Lawyer didn't kill him. Mason Gillis didn't kill him because they could play him straight up. They trusted their athletes along the perimeter to face guard, not allow those easy kick out threes. So Nebraska has said they don't want post going for 30. That's their choice. But then it becomes imperative that teams miss shots against Nebraska, whereas last night Washington hit them. But credit Nebraska for out-talenting and playing. Here's the thing, Strick. Even regardless of the competition, that was one of the best halves of basketball Nebraska played.
No
20
question.
minutes in the
No
second
question.
half. Had
No
to have it, went and got it.
Was it better than
for all
Creighton?
20 minutes.
Was it better than Creighton game?
Creighton game is certainly up there. I would say
because you was there. I just want to
Yeah.
make sure because you got to see it.
It's in that conversation. I thought the Washington second half was a little more aesthetically pleasing. That was more my style of game.
Mhm.
But they were both good halves. I
really enjoyed it.
The second half against Indiana, second half against UCLA, and the second half against Oregon are all probably in that conversation. But the fact that Nebraska was down 10 on the road to a team they let get hot, they needed every possession. They had to come out with energy to start the second half. They did that. They kept the game close till they could take the lead, only gave it up once or twice and not a whole lot of back and forth. And then minute at a time, here's a possession of lead on for Nebraska. Add another possession, just slowly kind of choking the life out of Washington. Level of competition has been better for Nebraska. They'll see better for most of the next 2 or 3 weeks. But in a time where Nebraska couldn't afford to drop this game off of 2 of the biggest wins of the year in back-to-back fashion, Nebraska played 20 of its best minutes of basketball, and that's why they were plus 24.
There it is.
So good stuff there. Appreciate all of you texting in here. Old Dad 34, what's our opinion for the rest of the season? We're not going to do that. Game at a time. Game at a time. That's what comes to mind for us. Ohio State Sunday, 1 p.m. That's our prediction. That's the next game Nebraska will play. And then 25-26, you say you appreciate watching Zach Edey in the NBA. Yeah, well, maybe I have to have the Zach Edey in the NBA conversation because he's a rookie of the year type of player right now, given that there's not much going on for NBA rookies so far this year. Eric Strickland, Austin Norman with you here on 93.7 The Ticket. We'll be right back to break down DBK Day in Nebraska. Danny Busboom Kelly.
You trying to cross him up?
My tongue got crossed up. It's tongue twister. DBK Day in LNK. We break down the hiring of Danny Busboom Kelly next.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100 and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started. If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Ready to spruce up your space? No matter what project is on your list, you can check it off at the Nebraska Builders Home and Garden Show, February 7th through the 9th at the Sandhills Global Event Center. With over 200 businesses under one roof, you'll find the latest in home innovations and experts to handle your dream projects. Admission is just $10, and children 12 and under are free. For more information, visit the Home and Garden Show online at hbal.org.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and on behalf of the entire Koppel team, we would like to say thank you to all of our loyal customers and employees that have allowed us to become one of the most successful GM dealerships in the country for the past 50 years. So we are celebrating that with some huge discounts. Right now, we have up to $13,500 off MSRP or 0% APR on select new models, and new Blazer EVs are leasing for $279 a month with zero down. So check us out online at koppelcars.com. All deals with approved credit. See dealer for details.
Stop asking your friends if they're hosting a party this Sunday and come for the real party instead. Join 93.7 The Ticket for the big game at Wings and Rings at 68th and O this Sunday and walk away with great prizes just for showing up. Why worry about making a great spread of food for the game at your house when you can enjoy all the great wings and more at Wings and Rings? It's the big game party with 93.7 The Ticket at Wings and Rings this Sunday at 68th and O.
Hey volleybalfans, this is Laura Dijkema, national player of the Netherlands and now the setter on Omaha's newest professional team, Love Omaha Volleyball. League volleyball is bringing the heat this year. Don't miss your chance to see Olympians, national players and national champions right here in Omaha from now through April. We can't wait to see you cheering for us in the stands. Visit lovboma.com to buy single match tickets to see me and Love Omaha Volleyball in action. Go Big Green!
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solution. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
At Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical, we're ready, reliable, and recommended. Water heater acting up or your sump pump on the fritz? Call Action. Summer's around the corner. Is your AC working? Are you sure? Call Action. Electrical problems? I'm telling you, call Action. Call Action for a free same-day estimate or a trusted second opinion. You heard that right, a free same-day estimate. 402-423-6960. actionlincoln.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Now back to On the Block on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Our Super Bowl squares grid is nearing completion, but we got 4 more to give away. We'll give away the first 2 in this segment, then the next 2 next hour. I'm Austin Norman, my partner, as always, Husker Hall of Famer, 9-year NBA vet Eric Strickland. First question, first person in with the right answer to 402-464-5685 will get the square. What high school did LeBron James attend? What high school did LeBron James attend? Let us know, 402-464-5685. If you have already won a square, you cannot win a second square. All right, Lance, you are the winner. The answer is St. Vincent St. Mary High School. So, Lance, send in your last name on the text line for us, please, and then you will get marked down for your square. Second square to give away here. What European team did Luka Doncic play for prior to his arrival in the NBA? Same number, 402-464-5685. What European team did Luka Doncic play for prior to joining the NBA? Need your first and last name along with the club team. And Stricky, I assume you know that answer.
Yeah, a little something. Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll see if we get the answer in here. So, Lance, appreciate your second guess, but you are
Lance with
already in there. Did Cupsker get it, Stricky?
Yeah, some. And some.
Cupsker get it on the text line?
Let me see what Cupster working with. Where are you at, Cupster?
I'm very sure he got it.
Yeah. Yeah, you sure did.
That's the one. Cubsker.
I
First
see you.
and last. No, it's not.
No.
It is not. It's the other one, Stricky.
It,
Lance was right.
oh,
but
yeah,
Lance
Lance
can't
was
get
it.
Yeah.
Lance was
Uh-huh.
it. Not Cubsker. Yeah,
So
Lance.
Cubsker, you wrong. But Lance already got it.
You did
from the previous one.
wrong.
What European team did Luka Doncic play for prior to his arrival in the NBA? We'll wait for that answer on our Starter Heyman Jewelers text line 402-464-5685. No, Lance, you do not get a second square. Appreciate the lobbying, though. Stricky.
What up?
Just down the street from us at the Bob Devaney Sports Center,
It's
home of
jumping
Nebraska
off.
volleyball.
I
It
know a
is
lot
jumping
about
off.
that. I know a lot about
You're
that.
familiar
spot.
with that place, aren't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, pretty comfortable.
Okay,
there.
very quickly, what's your favorite memory from Devaney?
I would probably say going for my freshman year, having almost 30 against them. It was one of those eye-opening moments. I had 28. It was the freshman record at the time, and just really just being on one as a freshman, coming, that was just a special moment.
Mm-hmm.
And that I would say definitely that would be probably it.
That's awesome. Josh is in with the correct answer. First, Sundo and Lincoln, you just missed out. Josh beat you. The answer, Real Madrid, is where Luka Doncic was before he was drafted. Who drafted Luka Doncic, Stricky?
You talking about in the NBA?
In the NBA, who drafted him?
It was a sign and trade, I think.
It was.
Oh, shoot.
Traded the rights. It's the number 3 overall pick in this draft after DeAndre Ayton and Marvin Bagley. It was Luka Doncic, drafted by the
Was it the Suns?
The Atlanta Hawks.
It was the Hawks?
Yeah, the Atlanta Hawks.
That was a good one.
Because the Suns took DeAndre Ayton,
Mhm.
the Kings took Marvin Bagley,
Right.
and then
The Hawks
for
take Dallas.
Yes, take
Mhm.
Luka Doncic and trade him. So,
They're done. That move was probably one of the dumbest. Like, was that just as dumb as the Kobe one?
that was
Like
not good, man. That was not
Charlotte,
good.
like, you should have kept him, my boy.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
That-
There's some dumb ones out there. There's some dumb ones.
Oh yeah. Real
When
head
you look
scratchers.
back at it, you kind of say, what's really going on out here?
No head scratching for the hiring of Danny Busboom Kelly to be the 4th head coach in Nebraska volleyball history. She was officially introduced not too long ago, about an hour ago, over there at the Bob Devaney Sports Center. Stricky, what are fair expectations for Danny Busboom Kelly at Nebraska? Does she have to maintain John Cook level success, or can she fall somewhere on the John Shire to Hubert Davis spectrum, for example?
I think there's when you look at some of those transitions, obviously you got to look at North Carolina. Boom, they go with Hubert, and same thing with Shire. They go with somebody that's familiar with the culture, with the organization.
Syracuse with Red Autry after Bayheim.
You see what I'm saying? And so you get that. Same thing here with her. She's familiar, but I think there's a difference with Danny Busboom Kelly is there's a creativity change. For example, here let me just give you kind of a way to kind of take a high level perspective on this situation. Tom Osborne, there's a reason why they call it Husker power, and you can go back to what he gleaned from Coach Devaney. It was Husker power. We're going to be the strongest, most physical, best conditioned team that you're going to face. That's what you knew, right? You also knew that we're going to run it down your throat, pause, with reckless abandon and without any consideration of your feelings about it. Okay, we had to make some adjustments because we could no longer compete as the game began to shift. So we're going to go out here to Cali. We're going to go out here to Florida. We're going to get some of these DBs and we're going to bring them in so that we can get fast. We're going to get Terrell Farley types and move them to linebacker, and we're going to get the old linebacker types and we're going to move them to D ends, and we're going to just
safety's the linebacker, and then we'll find new safeties.
Right? There you go. So they made those adjustments, but you still knew it was power.
Yeah.
Leaves, and then it becomes a little bit more finesse. because the game begins to shift. The game begins to change. You're trying to adjust with it. And it's the same thing here. Cook was power. We'll do some slides. We'll do some sliding, on some sets, but we're coming with power. We're hitting off hands. We're hitting down. We're going to come out the back. Really, a lot more out the back with Harper Murray than probably they've done in the past. A lot of stuff would be a lot of their frontline stuff and, so forth and so on. But, Austin, Danny Busman Kelly is super creative. Mm-hmm. You're going to see double crosses, fake spikes. It's going to still be a form of the culture, but there's going to be some different creativity that's brought to it. Mm-hmm. And you've got to give the team time to make some of those adjustments. It's something that they're not familiar with or used to. They played against it. They know what to expect there. But I think once she gets a hold of that aspect of it, it'll become fun for the ladies. Mm-hmm. And then they'll begin to embrace it. And so you're probably going to see some hiccups. They're not, but they'll still be good because they're super talented. They're super deep. But you're going to see probably some hiccups and some mishaps until they really get a grasp of what she's bringing to the table and her voice.
I don't know enough about volleyball to speak fully in an educated manner on this, so I'm just going
to ask. Neither do I. Did I break it down?
You did great, Stricky. You got a career on the beach if you want.
I freaking love it.
That's the thing.
I like watching.
But so I'm just going to ask these questions, not trying to imply anything, but just kind of thinking out loud, trying to think through it. As someone who watched late stage Duke basketball under Mike Krzyzewski, still really good, still really talented, made a Final Four in case last year. But he got the reputation, Strick, for being a roll the ball out there coach. Go get the best talent, let him figure it out.
Are you talking about Krzyzewski or Kentucky?
Krzyzewski. Well, and maybe Calipari to some degree too, right? Mm-hmm. It works. But we see that with a lot of coaches, right? That are great coaches that still attract high enough level talent to make what they do work. But sometimes just a slight shift in scheme can get your opponent over the top of you, right? I don't know how tactically innovative John Cook was or wasn't, right? I don't know how to watch for that in volleyball. But I've seen enough late-stage coaches to know that there's a temptation to just roll the ball out there, rely on what you've always done because it's got you there. Cook talked a lot about a growth mindset. I'm not going to say he wasn't innovating or looking for more. But in the biggest moments, did Nebraska get creative and get innovative against Penn State? Or did they do the same thing they've always done and the talent didn't quite rise to the level, or Penn State's talent rose up? I don't know. Maybe Danny Busman Kelly's going to play a little faster. Maybe she's going to put the athletes in different positions. I don't know. I also don't know, would you describe Danny Busman Kelly as a defensive-minded coach or an offensive-minded coach? Nebraska has been a program on the volleyball side built on defense, right? The black shorts moniker instead of the black shirts, right? I'm not saying that's wrong because it worked really well for Nebraska. That was a consistent, not just top 5, but top 2 defense in the country, if not best defense in the country. And that's not wrong. But Strick, we've seen this play shift in the NBA, right? Away from the hand check era into the wide open era. Seems like the teams that have beat Nebraska have been overwhelmingly good offensively with star power to feed one player. Do they get the ball in creative ways, or because they have a depth of attacking options, because you don't know where the ball's going to go and it's hard to guard unpredictability regardless of the sport? Did Nebraska and John Cook end up, hanging its hat too much on defense and sacrificing maybe some higher end offense because they were always built on defense? That I don't know. And here's the last thing too, that I still don't know the perfect way to phrase this. So just know I'm saying this more as a credit to Danny Busboom Kelly and her approach and attitude than anything I would ever say against John Cook, right? This is supposed to be a pro for Danny Busboom Kelly. Does she come in hungrier for her first national title than Cook walked out hungry for his 4th or 5th? I'm not going to say John Cook wasn't motivated. I'm not going to say John Cook, fed too much into the horses and the ranching in Wyoming or Montana or wherever the heck he's going to retire to now, right? Mm-hmm. I don't want to say that. He walked out and he was having fun. Nebraska, is on one of the best 10-year runs in volleyball history, right?
Right.
I can't tell you John Cook wasn't motivated. But maybe, Strick, just maybe, what this group needs, talking a big game, coming in as the best recruiting class in volleyball history by a lot of metrics, the disappointing loss to Texas, And then Harper Murray, it's okay. We'll be back. We're going to win the next 3, which got blown way out of proportion, taken the wrong way. But Nebraska didn't back that up. They make it to the Final Four and were arguably upset in the Final Four. Does this group, this class at Nebraska that's now going into their junior year without a title, do they need that fresh spark? Do they need that fresh degree of hunger to get them to be 2 points better than Penn State in the 3rd set or the 4th set to avoid letting that slip away? Again, that's not against John Cook, who's arguably the greatest college volleyball coach of all time, at least in the top 5, if you want to be super charitable to the rest of the country. But maybe a fresh voice, a fresh perspective, and a coach in search of their first title, being so close to tasting it multiple times as a coach on her own, back home leading her own program. Maybe there's an extra little pang of hunger in Danny Busboom Kelly that she can transfer over to this team that'll get it over the hump to win, Nebraska's first title since 2017.
I think you've laid that out very well, and that's the thing that I think we should keep our eyes on is what type of spark. Because just don't get discouraged by if there's hiccups.
Right.
That's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Would you tell Alabama football fans the same thing with Kalen DeBoer?
You know what I mean? Yeah. Don't get overly discouraged. There's got to,
especially for North Carolina basketball, stay the course. Hubert's doing great.
Like for example, there's a different ear to a person who plays the piano or plays the guitar, and that owner has fine-tuned that machine, that car, that piano, that guitar, whatever it is, that bass, whatever,
cello, violin,
whatever
the heck.
That particular person that owned that
instrument
device has an ear for it to them.
Mm-hmm.
A new owner has a different ear.
Yeah.
And will tune it the way that they need so that they can hear the sound, and those who are listening can receive that sound the way, and it's going to sound different from one owner to the next. And so I guess that's a good way of me showing you a picture of what you hope to see with what's going on there.
I like that. You know what else I like? Stricken. You know where we're going to be on Sunday? Eating Stricken at Buffalo Wings and Rings.
I think I just had a salad.
Not this year.
Cap!
I'm not going to allow it.
I'm not doing it.
That's the answer.
Yeah.
You're not going to do it. If you want to eat some Stricken for closer to free, you got to beat Stricky in the shootout. 4 questions for him, 4 for you on our Honda of Lincoln hotline. Call now, 402-464-5685. We'll play the shootout with Strick, lead into Thirsty Thursday when we get back to On the Block.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solution. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
The Jerky Bowl has kicked off at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska. From now until halftime of the big game, every online order gets you entered into their incredible giveaway. The grand prize is a 30-bag jerky sample pack, $225 value, while second place is a 15-bag sample pack, while third place is a Be Mine jerky box. Perfect for Valentine's Day. Order now at smokinggunjerky.com, and if you enter promo code EARLY, you'll not only get 10% off your order, but also be entered twice for the drawing. It's the Jerky Bowl at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall. Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
The Jerky Bowl has kicked off at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska. From now until halftime of the big game, every online order gets you entered into their incredible giveaway. The grand prize is a 30-bag jerky sample pack, $225 value, while second place is a 15-bag sample pack, while third place is a Be Mine jerky box. Perfect for Valentine's Day. Order now at smokinggunjerky.com, and if you enter promo code EARLY, you'll not only get 10% off your order, but also be entered twice for the drawing. It's the Jerky Bowl at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
Salt Mine City is not only Lincoln's newest brewery, but they're also now serving food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their peanut butter and jelly burger with bacon and cheddar cheese, or a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. Don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, now open 11 a.m. every day but Mondays at 8th and R.
Hey everyone, Lance here with Black Label. We specialize in creating custom crafted decks, pergolas, patio covers, and more. Plus, our retractable screens, gazebos, and patio enclosures create the ultimate outdoor retreat. With over 50 years of combined experience, we're not just builders, we're creators of unforgettable memories.
Call them today at 402-730-6333 or visit blacklabelbuilt.com for a free consultation.
Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality.
See the Black Label Built team this weekend at the Home Builder Show at the Sandhills Global Event Center from Friday through Sunday. If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Ready to spruce up your space? No matter what project is on your list, you can check it off at the Nebraska Builders Home and Garden Show, February 7th through the 9th at the Sandhills Global Event Center. With over 200 businesses under one roof, you'll find the latest in home innovations and experts to handle your dream projects. Admission is just $10, and children 12 and under are free. For more information, visit the Home and Garden Show online at hbal.org.
It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685, to take your shot against Eric Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Time to play the game.
We're going to make this snappy. Uncle Kev is in the building. Appreciate him showing up for Thirsty Thursday. But first, it's the Shootout with Strick, brought to you by the great people at Buffalo Wings and Rings. Again, meet us out there, 68th and O Street on Sunday. 5:30 kickoff between Kansas City and Philadelphia in Super Bowl 59. To our Honda of Lincoln hotline we go. We welcome in Chad. Chad, what's up? How you doing?
Hey, how are you?
We are doing well. Are you familiar with the rules of the game?
Yes.
Excellent. All right, Chad, hold on the line. Stricky's 4 questions, and then we will get to you. We are doing a Nebraska volleyball on the day that Danny Busboom Kelly is introduced as head coach. Stricky, your round of the shootout. You good, chewing wise?
I'm ready.
Okay, your round starts here in 3, 2, and 1. She led Nebraska in kills last season. Harper Murray or Merritt Beeson?
Murray.
It was Murray. She led Nebraska in blocks last season. Rebecca Alec or Andy Jackson?
Alec.
It was Alec. She's Nebraska's career leader in assists. Nicklin Hames or Kelly Hunter?
Hames.
It is Hames, and she recorded the most service aces in a single season in Nebraska history. Most service aces in a single season in Nebraska history.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
No, did not get it off.
Who was it?
It was also incorrect. It's the GOAT. It's the GOAT.
Larson?
Jordan Larson.
Yeah! I couldn't get it off.
He said Beeson anyways, so.
I didn't.
Too bad. Too bad.
Right.
That's a 3-point round for Stricky. So, Chad, 3 to tie, 4 or more to win. You ready?
Let's give it a shot.
Okay, your round starts here in 3, 2, and 1. She led Nebraska in digs last season. Olivia Mauk or Lexi Rodriguez?
Rodriguez.
Yep, she led Nebraska in hitting percentage last season. Andy Jackson or Layla Blackwell?
Jackson.
Yep, she's Nebraska's career leader in kills. Michaela Fecky or Sarah Pavin?
Pavin.
It is Pavin, and she recorded the most digs in a single season in Nebraska history. Most digs in a single season. The answer is Lexi Rodriguez. That is incorrect. We will go to the tiebreaker because the answer is the lady who was just introduced as Nebraska's 4th head coach, Danny Busboom Kelly. Most digs in a single season. It happened in 2006. So here's the tiebreaker question. Chad, Strick will give a number. You will go over, under, or push Strick's answer for your chance to win $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. Question for Strick. How many digs did Danny Busboom Kelly record in her record-setting 2006 season? How many digs for Danny Busboom Kelly? The most in a single season in school history in 2006. How many digs?
For 446.
Stricky says 446. Chad, over, under, push for the win.
I'm going to go under.
The answer is over. 580 digs for Danny Busboom Kelly in her one season as libero. Chad, a valiant effort. You tore through the first 3, but you let Strick squeak out here with a victory. Thanks for playing. Try again soon, Chad.
Yeah! I threw a good number out there.
Way to go, you Strick.
Yeah. Let's get it.
This man knows his stuff, people. Don't you ever question Stricky again.
I didn't let my intuition go out the door this time. Because I almost said something like 200 or something.
Woo!
Which would have been a bad look.
I'd have been low.
They're real
low.
Flow rider.
All right, let's take a break. Thursday with Kevin Meyer, Myers, Cork, and Baldwin when we get back.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall. Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
The Jerky Bowl has kicked off at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska. From now until halftime of the big game, every online order gets you entered into their incredible giveaway. The grand prize is a 30-bag jerky sample pack, $225 value, while second place is a 15-bag sample pack, while third place is a Be Mine jerky box. Perfect for Valentine's Day. Order now at smokinggunjerky.com, and if you enter promo code EARLY, you'll not only get 10% off your order, but also be entered twice for the drawing. It's the Jerky Bowl at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
Rock the box with the Lincoln Stars. Join us Friday, February 7th for Rivalry Night as we host the Omaha Lancers at 7:05 p.m. at the Icebox. Enjoy buy one, get one free Busch Light Tall Boys and $3 Michelob Ultra Draw Pour drafts all game long while supplies last. Help us try to sell out the Icebox for the first time since 2019. Join us for Rivalry Night on February 7th by getting your tickets at LincolnStars.com.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
The dangers of secondhand smoke are well known. But what about secondhand aerosol, which is created when using e-cigarettes? Science already shows that secondhand aerosol can contain nicotine, heavy metals, and cancer-causing agents. Eliminating exposure to secondhand aerosol is an important step to keeping everyone safe. Breathe easier knowing the facts.
For help quitting, call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Why wait until Friday to start your weekend?
Go ahead, start right now.
You're thirsty now, and 93.7 The Ticket is here to help you stock up.
Just in time for the weekend when I like to hit the clubs.
Time to broaden your horizons and try some new wine and beer. It's Thirsty Thursday with Kevin Meyer from Meyer's Cork and Bottle.
Okay, little something.
There it is.
6.5. Little something. Oh, what
gentlemen. What's up, Kev?
Well, I'm trying to open this. There it goes.
That
That
was a queef.
All right, everyone start over.
You can't
Tricky,
say
you
that
can't
on the
say
air.
that on the air.
Tricky's mic. No, get out. You don't get Thirsty Thursday.
Yeah.
You
must have already been drinking.
Good thing Nixon. Get out of here.
Tricky, you
can't
cannot say that on air.
Did you hit the dump button?
I was not fast enough.
No.
Busy yelling at my co-host.
I don't know. Tricky. Well, if your answer is I don't know, you should not say it.
I can't believe you just said that on the
That
air.
that is insanity that you just said that.
I don't know what you guys are talking about, man. That was something that I heard when
Stay
I was
away
in
from
college.
exactly.
That's an old school. Just
Man, this show changed times on Monday, and it's about to be done by Friday.
Unbelievable.
Canceled. You're about to
You
be
guys
canceled.
are extra.
No, we just
you just missed this one.
we're just
It's okay.
responsible.
Just admit it. Move on.
Yeah.
The good news
Put
is
your right hand up. I apologize.
They pulled the
Just say,
funding
"My
for
bad."
the Federal Trade Commission, so I think we'll be okay. Like there's no government oversight right now.
Okay, good.
Thunder Knot College. Good night. Strick is fired.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Thunder, not Collins. What are you talking about?
Thanks,
that was
Kevin, I
just.
appreciate it.
I said it was a weef.
No, you did not.
I
Stop
did.
trying to
Don't
save
make it worse. Don't make it
Just
worse.
pass me my wine.
You hear Nick Sanderdin with us as well.
Hello, gentlemen.
How was DBK day?
Great. It's an exciting time. It was really the full week from John Cook's retirement last, what was that, 2 Thursdays ago almost now, or last Thursday?
Wednesday.
Week ago
Wednesday.
Yeah, a week ago Wednesday to yesterday was really John Cook centric.
Mm-hmm.
Today
Yeah.
it was about future of DBK at the helmet.
And they
It's
came
an
out and
exciting
hung
time.
out at the basketball game.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they got a nice little tour.
Yeah, goosebumps. There was goosebumps when they walked out together. But anyway,
And we got a couple reds today from Uncle Kev. Couple
do.
different reds.
Which one we going with
that
first?
the theme?
Let's do the wine first because I believe the
Damn.
cider that we're going to do is going to be a little sweet. So if you follow something dry from beginning with something sweet, it's can taste it a little astringent. So,
viscosity.
yeah. So
Tricky
this
C's
is
legs.
a brand new winery to the store. It's called Brady Vineyard, and they're located in Paso Robles, which is Central Coast
Of Cali.
Of Cali. That's
I used
right.
to did you know I used to live in Lompoc?
Oh, you told me that once.
Yeah, San Luis Obispo, San
Yeah.
Inez,
Santa Inez, Santa Barbara,
Santa Maria.
Right? Yeah.
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 I was
this
right
is-
there.
This is right.
Never
in there.
Neverland. Not too far from there.
How long did you live there?
I was there from
Wow.
83 to 86.
Nice.
And Paso Robles was one of those.
Wait. That would make you older than 35.
But I was no, I was Benjamin. I was
Tricky, I never see you
Benjamin
backpedal.
Buttons. I was Benjamin Buttons.
He's
So I was
aging
only a
backwards.
little tyke. I mean, I was like only like literally.
You don't
like
remember much of
1
it?
years old.
You
No,
don't remember much of it?
I don't remember.
All right,
Wow.
anyways,
So-
the Brady Vineyard wine, Kevin.
Brady
sorry.
Vineyard. That's
This
all
is
right.
good, my boy.
This is a new winery of the month feature, and this is their
Hey,
Zinfandel.
this is a strict pick.
Hey, Strick, let the man finish.
No, this is an automatic strict pick. Because did I not stay true to my word on my strict pick?
Yeah, you sure did. And I showed up with a couple of bottles today for
See?
Sticky to take home. So
I'm not saying you don't stay true. I just want to learn.
so this is the Zinfandel of all things.
That's a Zinfandel?
Yeah, and that Central Coast area was founded by a large group of Italians, and they brought grapes with them from Italy. Except for in Italy, they call the grape Primitivo, and
Primitive.
so
Spring.
yeah, exactly. Well, so Zinfandel is one of the few grape varietals that the older the vine gets, the better the fruit it bears. And so what happens is these vines get these great big gnarly trunks on them, and they'll produce fewer clusters of grapes. And the berries are actually smaller, but they develop a really thick skin, and so they can leave them on the vine longer and longer and longer than what you would typically do. So it really concentrates the wine. And you know how we've been talking about willing spring into existence? The best barbecue wine there is in the world is a Zin, a good red Zin.
Is that so?
If you notice, you get that upfront fruit, but then you get a spicy, peppery backbone. And it's just like a good barbecue. You get, or especially a good barbecue sauce. You get that little molassesy, little brown sugar, followed by that kick on the back end, and just goes really, really well with smoked foods.
That it does. It is fruit first, right? That's the first thing you notice is the grape, right? I mean, it's a wine, duh, it's grapes. But
Right.
and it's amazing how it transitions from that fruit up front to that spicy smoke
kick.
in
Yeah.
the back. That's
That's
incredible.
that's a great way to describe it, because I was trying to figure out the not roller coaster, because roller coaster has a negative connotation with it, but it is essentially a roller coaster of the flavor, right? Because you can really decipher the difference between the fruit to the smoke, like you guys talked about.
Well, and that's when someone refers to a wine's finish, that's what they're talking about, is those residual flavors that are left on your palate after you've consumed the wine. And in a good Zin has that smoky, peppery finish to it that lingers around. This is kind of an interesting story. This guy got his viticulture degree, which is the study of growing of vineyard grapes, and at Texas Tech. And he began making wine in Texas and won a bunch of awards for Texas winemaking, and then got hired away by a winery called Robert Hall. And they are located in Paso. And then in the early 2000s, I believe it was 2001, decided to branch out on his own and bought his own land, planted his own vineyards, And so everything he does is has his fingerprint on it from start to finish. So he only makes wine from what he grows in his own vineyards, and he's really, really passionate, very, very detailed oriented. But yet these wines are on sale for $22. So I think that, they punch above their weight class a little bit.
That is really good.
How rare is that for someone to only use their own grapes in their wine? Is that rare, that common?
Increasingly rare. Yeah. And increasingly rare to still be family owned too. Most of these wineries are getting gobbled up by the bigger conglomerates. So,
what would be the conglomerate? Like, for example, give me a couple.
Like Anheuser?
Gallo would be one. Constellation Brands would be another. So you get these portfolios of beverage companies, and sometimes that's just one part of what the company actually does, but they will buy up these wineries, and if they're smart, they leave them alone because they bought them because they were successful, not because they needed turnaround. So what they do is that they just fold them into their portfolio of products, and that's just how companies work.
This is next week's Strix pick.
Well, and guess what? So there's also a Cab and a Merlot.
Oh, no Pinot?
No Pinot. Well, it's a little too warm in Paso for Pinot.
Yeah, that's actually good.
That's a tongue twister.
smooth.
Yeah, it is.
There's no way I would have thought this was a what was it again?
A Zin.
A Zin.
Well, I do have to ask too, Kevin. I mean, obviously we think of
red.
California as a big wine state. I had relatives that were up in Washington for a while, plenty of wineries up there as
Great
well.
ones, yeah.
How many, is wine produced in all 50 states? Probably not Alaska,
Yes.
48 continental, or is it in all 50?
I believe there is some wine produced in every U.S. state.
Wow.
What's your favorite winery not in Nebraska that you've ever been to?
Probably Ferrari Carano.
Okay. Where at?
It's in Alexander Valley on the Sonoma side of the Mayacamas Mountain Ridge. And the guy was a billionaire, made his money in casinos. And so the winery was a passion project for him. And so I think if he were anybody else, his wines would be double the price because they're that good. But, money was no expense.
Yeah.
And so the vineyards are just like plucked with the tweezers. And it's just cool to like grab a loaf of bread and a bottle of wine, and just go get lost. And then they're like, everything is just
lost in the vine.
Yeah, exactly. And just, everything is landscape, just absolutely gorgeous.
If somebody's looking to take a trip, and the reason I bring this up because I have a friend that just got back from Napa, and
he took a nap.
I just woke up from Napa.
No, right. So anyway, and back to serious conversation, Kevin.
Sorry.
Well, why are you on this show?
Yeah, right.
I can use a Napa.
No,
we're not serious here.
What I'm curious about is if somebody wants to take a trip and they want it to be not centered around wineries, but they want this to be a point of emphasis, where should they go?
Well, I think that's one of them. I think part of it too is that you want to be diverse in terms of the places that you see. So you want to have some that are perhaps a little more widely known, bigger branded wines, and then also some of the mom and pop places. Those tend to be the most fun, where you'll roll up in the guy's driveway and he's hanging out there with his dog, and he's like, hey, come on up, let me show you around.
Yeah.
And so that can be really fun too, a little more intimate, a little less corporate. But you
bed and breakfast style.
In a breakfast, what
bed and breakfast style?
Yeah, you could. They have that out there. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. Stricky's packing up. He's ready to be done with this thing.
From a new vineyard in Brady, right? New on the shelves at Myers Cork and Bottle at 13th and South Streets here in Lincoln, to one of our favorites, something that you feature quite a bit because they're good. It tastes good pretty much every time. Our friends over at Glacial Till. What you got for us today, Kevin?
So we're
don't be measuring. Don't be measuring.
We're Stricky.
What is he talking
Thank you,
about,
Uncle
Austin?
Kev. Thank you, Uncle Kev.
So located right here in southeastern Nebraska, Bennett Palmyra area, is a place called Glacial Till, and they have a vineyard, and they also make cider.
Ooh.
And since we are in Valentine's season,
I like that.
This is a chocolate strawberry cider.
No way.
Yeah, and I love how innovative the cider producers are, especially our
smells
local ones.
berry.
Yeah, it's
Is that a word? Berry?
Well, it's based with apples, but then they use chocolate and strawberry to finish it out. And
it tastes like
romance.
a Tootsie
Whoa,
Roll.
something hit my tongue.
Pause.
How?
See, I get a lot less of the chocolate. I get a lot of the berry. I get a lot of the cider and maybe a little like
it
chocolate
tastes like a
smoothness
Tootsie Roll.
finish,
The
almost.
chocolate is definitely
Subtle.
on the finish.
Isn't it Tootsie Roll type? Like, you know what I'm saying?
The chocolate part.
I
of
get
it, but,
Tootsie Roll.
but you get the strawberry up front.
I get the strawberry up front and the chocolate on the
Yeah.
on the
Tootsie
finish, if you will.
The
what is
chocolate
what
is
is
really
the
subtle.
the Tootsie Roll,
Yeah.
the brown one?
Yeah.
That's what it.
Okay,
I
Stricky.
get-
Yeah,
We
you
know
know,
what
we
Tootsie
got
Rolls
we
are,
know
brother.
what we know what Tootsie Rolls are.
We got some in the. How about this, Stricky? We have some over there. I can go get you one. You can
Yeah.
put it in there, soak it, and see what you think.
Do
Yeah.
a little pairing.
It's very
It's
good.
very good.
So I
Does
mean,
it have some pop to it? Pop.
it's got a little sparkle to it. Comes in a cool glass bottle. These aren't cheap. These are about $15, but really delicious. And for Valentine's Day, the chocolate covered strawberry, to do a chocolate strawberry cider with that,
Yeah.
I think would be awesome.
I absolutely agree.
What do you pair that with? Like, do you pair that with like Bob Haney's great
Heavenly
waffles? Heavenly waffles, or do you pop with a good brat, sir? Brat? What? Talk to me.
Are you talking?
Nick, you got half an hour?
A cider like this?
Yeah.
What
would you pair it with?
Well, I think, like I said, it might be fun since it's chocolate and strawberry to actually have a chocolate covered strawberry with it.
Ooh.
I would agree.
But another thing that goes really well with strawberries is champagne.
This almost feels like
Champagne.
not a dessert beverage, but it's one that after dinner you're chilling, you're relaxing. This is when you crack open that bottle.
Yeah.
That's what this feels like. Maybe some ice cream,
Yeah.
like just ice cream on the side. Like if it tastes like a dessert type of beverage.
It certainly doesn't taste like it has any alcohol.
Like
I know.
exactly. Stricky, I'm sorry. I'm probably not going to pair a beer brat with this.
You know
but
what? It's unbelievable, bro.
What?
I do like too that it comes in the classy
You're kind of
bottle
delusional today.
for it's not is it Valentine's Day specific?
Oh, go ahead.
Is this limited batch, limited edition, sort of
Limited-
seasonal?
Yeah, limited seasonal, limited batch specifically for Valentine's Day.
Uncle Kev, I have to ask.
Yeah,
on your
shoot.
list of potential pairings, how far does a brat or a waffle?
Hey, man, why you
go
over
down?
here?
I'm just
You trying to
curious.
clown, bro.
Austin and I
Austin,
both.
that's what we doing today?
Austin and I both look
That's
at each
what we
other.
are, Austin?
Austin and I both look at each other like,
I see
brat?
you.
A
I
brat?
thought we was better than that.
We were rolling,
Okay.
and then Stricky went off the rails.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I need a new co-host for the next half an hour, give or take, unfortunately. So
All I can say is that I appreciate the creativity.
Thank you.
Okay, so now I know it is
I'm all about non-traditional.
Heavenly waffle style.
NA, not applicable.
So
it's very good though.
It's very good, Uncle Kevin. That's good choices today. I love the combination of choice. Why would you go with the cider after the wine? What? Because normally sometimes you'll go the one before the other.
Well, if you follow something dry, which essentially dryness is the absence of sweetness. If you follow something sweet with something dry, it can double down on
Goes you off.
almost like being astringent. Like, remember when you were a kid and your mom would dissolve an aspirin in a tablespoon of water? Remember that?
Yeah.
I do not.
Yeah. Well, because when you're a
Because
kid,
you
you're
ate
not
the
very-
fruity pebble
yeah, you had
aspirins.
chewables. This is before that.
Yeah,
we
young
had,
fella.
I roughed it. I didn't take medicine
we
growing
just
up.
had to gut it, and
Grind it
so
out.
it could have that astringent reaction. So we did the dry first, then followed by the sweet.
Yeah.
It's just, I think it allows both items to show better.
I do have to ask. We talk a lot about the wine industry, what's hot, what's not, what's in, what's out. Is there a cider industry? Like, how popular is cider right now? Is that niche or is that relatively popular?
I would say.
Wait, is it also seasonal?
Well, this one is their seasonal cider specific
Okay.
for.
That's a good question.
Were you
Quick,
sitting in the
jeez.
same room that the rest of us were?
Yeah, for grilling season when you're ready to cook up some beer brats.
Whoa.
I'm losing my train of thought.
I'm sorry, Uncle Kev. It's his fault, Uncle Kev. You brought him in here.
This is true. I did. And he said, I'm not going to talk. I'm just going to sit here and watch the Phoenix Open.
Well, because that's Stricky start. Well, Stricky
I
threw
feel
us
like
off the
we're on the
rails.
Waste Management Open right now. to
Stricky
be
threw us
completely
off the
honest.
rails from the start. But anyway, yes, seasonal is cider's a seasonal type of thing.
So, well, the question was, is cider niche or getting more mainstream? And I would say it's between. It started very niche, but now is trending upward and getting more mainstream. Number one, because
When you say niche, bougie.
yeah, well, like exclusive to a small percentage of people.
Oh, okay.
And
Like IPAs. you
Like Nick.
well, kind of.
The cool thing about ciders, though, is that they're for people that have a problem with celiacs, gluten.
Yeah.
They're gluten free because they're made from apples. But they can get super creative. Like, I mean, I've seen them use jalapeno. I've seen them use hops. This is chocolate and strawberry. So there is an infinite amount of creativity that can go along into making cider, and you can make them sweet, you can make them dry, et cetera, but they're all based with apples. And so I think because of that, it is a growing industry in terms of popularity.
Nice. 1 week from tomorrow, Valentine's Day.
True.
And we can send you to a man who's helped with menu proposal in his day.
I have.
You can get a Strix
gentlemen, whether you're proposing or not, head down to Myers Cork and Bottle, 13th and South, and you can see Uncle Kev for any advice you need.
Yeah.
How about
that? Both Zach Taylor and Alex Gordon came to old Uncle Kev for their
Wow.
bottle to get engaged.
That's
with.
awesome.
Yeah.
Tell them what the Strix pick is of the week.
This is called Brady Vineyards.
Brady
It's a Zinfandel from Paso Robles on sale right now for $22.99.
Yeah, you sell beer brats with it too?
I don't have any beer brats, but Leon's is just down the block from the shop. And
I
think
the one
it would
that
be
did
pretty
that.
tasty.
I didn't
And,
say anything.
Zen brings Zen.
Zen.
Zinfandel brings Zen.
All right. Oh, Zen.
Zen.
You guys are
I
unbelievable.
thought you were talking about
you're mine.
like
Hey, you're
like
on the
a
radio.
Zen,
You got
like
to enunciate.
one of those
You're mine.
pouches.
I said Zen brings Zen.
I thought you were talking about.
Zen is, there's two definitions to Zen.
I thought you
Zen
were
Master,
talking
Phil Jackson style.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was
Relax,
talking about
Ricky.
pouches.
nicotine pouches, but I was like, upper decker, buddy.
Upper decky lip pillow.
You guys are unbelievable.
It's tricky. You ever have any upper decky pillows?
Upper deck bubble gum.
Okay.
Yeah, the sports card.
Yeah,
This-
they're too young. They don't know about
This
that,
is-
Uncle Kev.
This is so tangential right now. I just
The best part was Strick said Zen brings Zen, and it sounded the exact same. And you thought he meant the ZYN pouch thing. I thought he meant I have no idea.
I thought
and
he meant brings
something
them
else.
in.
He meant
Yeah,
Zen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Zen,
because he just sounded
Brings them
so
into the store. That's what I thought.
Anyway, we're located on the corner of 13th and South Street. And, if you need a little something for Valentine's Day, old Uncle Kev is there to hook you up.
And that, yes.
Because Zen brings in.
brings in.
All right, that's
Yeah.
good me enough. Kevin, you can stick around. Nick, you can stick around. Stricky, debatable. We'll be back on the block in a minute.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through February 11th is $2 off burgers, limit of 2, 20% off sauces and spices, and 5 pounds of 75/25 ground beef for $20. Limit of 2 while supplies last. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Stop asking your friends if they're hosting a party this Sunday and come for the real party instead. Join 93.7 The Ticket for the big game at Wings and Rings at 68th and O this Sunday and walk away with great prizes just for showing up. Why worry about making a great spread of food for the game at your house when you can enjoy all the great wings and more at Wings and Rings? It's the big game party with 93.7 The Ticket at Wings and Rings this Sunday at 68th and O.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
The Jerky Bowl has kicked off at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska. From now until halftime of the big game, every online order gets you entered into their incredible giveaway. The grand prize is a 30-bag jerky sample pack, $225 value, while second place is a 15-bag sample pack, while third place is a Be Mine jerky box. Perfect for Valentine's Day. Order now at smokinggunjerky.com, and if you enter promo code EARLY, you'll not only get 10% off your order, but also be entered twice for the drawing. It's the Jerky Bowl at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
Rock the Box with the Lincoln Stars. Join us Friday, February 7th for Rivalry Night as we host the Omaha Lancers at 7:05 p.m. at the Icebox. Enjoy buy one, get one free Busch Light Tall Boys and $3 Michelob Ultra Draw Pour drafts all game long while supplies last. Help us try to sell out the Icebox for the first time since 2019. Join us for Rivalry Night on February 7th by getting your tickets at LincolnStars.com.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just the professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at PAHLincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
In today's digital world, you can never be too cautious when it comes to your security. Cyber attacks are affecting more businesses every day. At Hamilton Business Technologies, we understand the stress and impact a cyber attack can have, not just on your bottom line, but on your ability to serve your customers and protect their trust. That's why we are passionate about safeguarding your business. From real-time threat monitoring to advanced security protocols, we help keep your data safe, allowing you to focus on what matters most. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with the child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with Taco Night on Mondays or Whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
February is American Heart Month, and with heart disease as the #1 leading cause of death in Nebraska, now is the best time to start thinking about your health. Maintaining a healthy blood pressure is one of the best ways to avoid heart disease, and the blood pressure screening is fast, easy, and can be free. The best way to get screened is at your yearly wellness visit with your doctor. For more information and ways to get a blood pressure screening, search Chronic Disease Nebraska. Paid for by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Now back to On the Block on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Oh boy. Here we go. We're doing this again. Austin Norman, Eric Strickland with you. Let's go to the text
we're doing it
line
without
here.
Nick.
Thank goodness. Hizzlebear says Nick is a straight up troll. Correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Welcome to the Nick Sainert experience. And then Patrick said, my work completely sucked today. That segment was awesome and made me laugh. Thanks for making my day less crappy. Patrick, thank you for listening. I'm glad we could entertain. I'm glad we could bring a smile to your face. Sorry you had a bad day. Glad we can be a part of it. How about this, Patrick? Let's add to the fun. We didn't give away our $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. So, Patrick, how about $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings for you? Since we had the tiebreaker question that Strick got right, Patrick, send us your last name here, and we'll give you the $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings, where we will be on Sunday afternoon and evening for Super Bowl 59, Chiefs-Eagles kickoff at 5:30. Join us down there pretty much any time. I would assume after 4 is about when we'll get there. Well, Stricky, couple and a half hours have come and gone since the NBA trade deadline. Some minor moves today, nothing too major, nothing earth-shaking. That came last night. Jimmy Butler traded from the Miami Heat to the Golden State Warriors. It was announced he would sign a 2-year extension with the Warriors as well. Your thoughts and reaction to Jimmy Butler going to Golden State?
Wow. Let me just say that. It's just just a big wow on that one. And you have to ask the question, right? Like there are teams that you can look at that you have to ask the question as to why are they going after certain guys? Like I could go through certain names, and I'm not going to ultimately do that, right? Like you look at guys that have been overpaid when they're on the tail end of going out, and they'll go to a team because they're trying to make a splash of some sort, right? They're taking a flyer on a certain guy, trying to see if they can revive something that had been missing or lost, or you look at what the Lakers did with when the franchise was looking like it was falling off a cliff. They go out and get every freaking ending top 75 player, over super all-star, Gary Payton, Karl Malone, Steve Nash, and try
Dwight
to,
Howard,
throw a hodgepodge together. And Dallas did it, by signing guys that are on the way out, guys that are on the downslide. You saw that. You saw what Brooklyn did by trying to get some form of a last leg out of
Pierce
KG. And KG. You know what I mean? Like we can run down the line and see how that happens.
Yeah.
And then there's guys that get overpaid in those situations when they're really not worth it. I think that's what you're seeing here with Jimmy. I think you're seeing that they're not the destination that they were.
Not close.
Can you move Draymond? Shaky. Somebody that's going to be a specific. Can you move Steph? Absolutely, immediately. But he's one of those guys that is going to probably retire a Golden State Warrior.
Yeah.
And so you're trying to bring someone with some form of a name or something to try to just make it even more appeasing for him to not request any movement there. And so to get him to feel good, to stay, you have to pay him. And I think that's a mistake, because if you look at anything that Jimmy has done, Jimmy is satisfied until he's not.
Right.
And I don't, especially if he's not where he wants to be, but even when he is where he wants to be, it's still the same, song.
Right.
There you go.
The full trade: Jimmy Butler to the Warriors, Andrew Wiggins, PJ Tucker, Kyle Anderson, and a protected first to Miami, Josh Richardson and Lindy Waters to Detroit, and Dennis Schroeder to Utah. That's the full terms of the trade. Have a text here from anonymous texter 3027. Insane money for a 35-year-old. What is their front office thinking for $121 million?
Facts.
That's the question. Here's kind of
because you're not going to be able to move him.
No,
you're stuck with him. Yeah,
I think it's a non-zero chance that Jimmy is done after his time in Golden State, right? Especially if another place ends poorly. So Warriors current GM Mike Dunleavy Jr. played with Jimmy in Chicago when Jimmy was young. Dunleavy was about out of the league. There's a little bit of a history there, a little bit of a connection there. Let's not forget Jimmy said no to a trade to Golden State not that long ago. And deadline crept closer and closer and closer. And finally, both sides, to Strick's point, incentivized to just get something done. So it doesn't look like you're
because Jimmy was
pat.
not going to play for Miami anymore. You weren't going to do anything. So
No,
yeah,
you weren't. The basketball fit is intriguing because right now it's Steph and Buddy Hield spacing the floor for Golden State. That's not a lot. Jonathan Kuminga is coming back from a little bit of an absence injury, being banged up, but he's only shooting 34% from three. Kevon Looney, not a floor stretcher.
They don't have a mid-ranger.
Done it, not a mid-ranger, like you're saying there, Strick, especially with Wiggins out the door, headed to Miami now. Wiggins didn't want to get moved, but he had the biggest salary that the Warriors could help match in that move, so that's why he's out the door. Regular season, I think, is going to be rocky. I mean, I can see it working if the Warriors are able to get Jimmy in that mid-range, get Jimmy in the post, let him go to work as a wing. I'm a little skeptical about the regular season, especially because Jimmy comes and goes in the regular season. If the Warriors get to the playoffs, though, Strick, that's where I wonder if we see Jimmy Butler start to pay dividends, right? When teams have to keep paying the attention they are to Steph Curry because he's the one offensive player. Jimmy gets one-on-ones, and we know that, like very few players we've seen in the last 20 years, Jimmy elevates in the playoffs to a different level. You saw what he did a couple times with Chicago, was pretty good in the playoffs for Philly. And then, of course, he's known for the bubble runs with Miami and what he was able to do down there. That's all fine and well, except for what you brought up. Jimmy is happy until he's not. Think about how Golden State was built and what they were built on, right? Steve Kerr having the pulse of the team, charisma, basketball joy from Steph and Clay, and bringing back some emotions that the Bay Area hadn't felt in basketball since Run TMC, and then since Wilt even before that, right? Basketball joy is how they described Steph Curry. And people say that when Jimmy's engaged, he's a great teammate. But as soon as he's not engaged, it turns toxic. 39-94, who throws the first punch, Butler or Green? Draymond's coexisted with some big personalities, right? KD was there. DeMarcus Cousins was there. I mean, Steph's a big personality despite being maybe a little quieter and more subtly intense about it, right? The only guy Draymond punched was Jordan Poole. Yes, helped run KD out of town. That's not to be discounted. I'm less worried about that. I'm more worried about Jimmy Butler blowing this up. And that, to me, Strick, is why Golden State couldn't make this move, because it goes against everything they've stood for. Team, chemistry, playing five-man basketball, not one-man basketball. Not one person's the star of the show. It's the Splash Brothers. It's the Big Three. It's the Hamptons Five. It's joy. That doesn't come to mind when I think about Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
Except that Golden State didn't have a choice. They already wasted, the last 2 years, really, at the very least. They won that championship in 22 that I don't even know how they won that one, right? It's still a mystery to me how Golden State won that championship in 22. So you can't say they've wasted the last, 4 years of Steph's career because they got another title out of it.
Right.
But at least the last 2 years, they've just been kind of drifting and floating and putting it all on Steph, which they can't afford to do. Father time's coming. Steph is still good, but because there's so little help around him, they can throw some junk, some kitchen sink at Steph, and that's hard for anyone to deal with, let alone a 6'3" guy who's not necessarily breaking down, but is slowing down, certainly closer to the end than the beginning. Golden State couldn't make this move from a culture standpoint, but they had to make this move from a basketball standpoint.
And then you have him having to do so much. We saw what that did to Clay.
Yeah.
I think the injuries also, we haven't seen Steph with a major one yet, like a super major.
Yeah.
It's been
since the ankles.
Right. Since the ankles early on. And so, but even with that, there's going to be a time when it's going to wear.
Yeah.
And Steph is not built. His game is not built upon being injured. Like, he's not KD.
Right.
Like, KD has always been get to a spot, raise up. I'm 6'10". If you're not here, it doesn't matter.
Too late.
Doesn't matter. Right. That's that. So he can continue to do that. Steph, if he can't, use the shiftiness and the quickness and, the changes of direction, he's not going to be able to get space. Now, he's still going to be good because he can shoot, Just look at Ray Allen, how long his career was able to last. Just you can stroke it. Dirk, same way. Dirk looked like he was an old man with a cane out there, but because he could shoot and there was something there with his abilities and his high release point, you could stay longer. So I don't know what Golden State's plan or exit plan is. They're to me, they're looking like they're going to continue to be at the play-in situation regardless of what happens with this, which may be okay for them as far as trying to get in, stay in.
Here's the exit plan. 2 more years. That's when Steph's contract is up. That's when Jimmy Butler's extension will be up and Draymond will have 1 year left. That's the exit plan. Golden State's going to suck. It's going to be so bad for years. Unless Dunleavy pulls off some magic the likes we haven't seen in a long time.
He would be smart
because
to move
they
Steph.
didn't pick a lane.
Yep.
At this point, Steph's not moving, is he?
That would be the only thing you could do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But then what are you going to get for this Steph versus Steph 3 years ago?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, especially like the Luka situation has devoured the market.
Yeah.
Like everybody's going to be looking and saying, yeah, I know that this happened with Rudy Gobert and, the likes of them, but the market's not talking that. We're at tiers now. You saw what we did with Luka. So, get in where you fit in. They literally have destroyed the market with that trade. Like you don't expect to get 3-4 first rounders and all that stuff at this point. So yeah, it's crazy.
A couple other trades of note, at least to me. Brandon Ingram got moved by the Pelicans. He is going up to Toronto, who now has pretty much all the wings. Curious to see what Toronto's plan is. That's a move that doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
I don't know.
And RJ Barrett.
Yeah, they all look the same.
Yeah.
Similar styles.
I don't get
weird.
that one.
Yeah.
Lakers trade for a center, Stricky. They gave up Dalton Connect to Charlotte, along with a first-round pick, a second-round pick, and I think one other player or some cash was involved. Charlotte was really high on Dalton Connect in the draft. They didn't take him, but the Lakers get Mark Williams, Charlotte's starting center, to fill that gap on their roster.
Who would you have rather had, Mark Williams or what's my guy at Utah?
Kessler?
Yeah.
Well, Mark Williams is my boy. To his core. Mark Williams was a stud dude. Okay, as a freshman.
You're biased. I shouldn't have.
Well, just let me talk through it. Give me a second here. Mark Williams was really fun in college. Mark Williams has had an up and down start to his NBA career. I think hypothetically, I would rather have Mark Williams, a little bit more athletic, a little more versatile on offense. He can step out and hit the elbow jumper, a little craftier. I mean, a 73% free throw shooter as a big man. He's got good touch, good timing, pretty athletic, except Strick. Mark Williams has missed basically half the games in his 2 years in the NBA. You know why he's missed games? Back and foot.
Those are bad things for big boys.
Bad things for big boys. In a vacuum, if you ask me player for player, I like Mark Williams. But at this point, I would rather depend on Walker Kessler's, durability,
rim
protection, and just what you're getting.
Because
rather
that's
than
all you need,
right,
for them.
Right,
you don't need no more shooting. You've got Reeves, even Hachimura
here and there. Finney
I'm
Smith.
surprised they didn't move him, but I thought.
They needed a wing.
They needed, yeah, and he's a better defensive player than Connect's gonna be long term.
Well,
short term.
Did you see that last kind of straw for Connect with JJ? I'll just see if I can find the clip, but it was last week, 2 weeks ago. I don't remember exactly when it was, but Lakers had called a play for Dalton Connect, and he wasn't in the right spot. He didn't run the play.
He's like, it's just
and
your
JJ
freaking play.
It
was like a horns play or something, an elbow play. Yeah, I remember seeing that. Okay.
Yeah.
It's your freaking play.
Right.
Those are the things that can get you ousted real quick with teams. That's what I used to tell you when this is a long time ago, when I talked about how important it was and why I made the Mavericks team, because you don't get a bunch of extra reps, right? You're going to be behind the first thing, you've got your playbook. Second thing, you better know your terminology. Third, you better watch what's going on before you. So you can't be in there being freaking a blowhard,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Just all oblivious to what's going around, talking, laughing, giggling, sniggling all on the sideline, right? you better be very aware of what's going on, because you're going to be called on to do either the same play or some combination of that, or some counter of that play when you're called onto the floor. And when they drop a play for you, my boy, come on, son.
You had one job.
One job, and it's you. Boy,
It's
I
the
used
thing
to
you're good
love
at.
when
Get a
Nelly drew. I loved it when Nelly drew something up for Stricky. I was going balls to the wall trying to get to the spot.
Yeah.
Facts.
Dalton Connect to Charlotte, Mark Williams to Los Angeles. And,
I think it's a good space for Dalton Connect.
I do too.
I actually
LaMelo,
do.
Dalton Connect, and Brandon Miller.
Young folk.
Here's
Good long size, all of them long.
Here's the funny part, Stricky.
What's the name of there too? Miles Bridges dunking on everybody.
Did you know Dalton Connect is 8 months older than Mark Williams, who's been in the NBA for 2 years?
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Think about that for a sec. So, 2366. How about PJ Tucker being traded 3 times in 5 days? PJ Tucker's been sitting on his couch at home the whole time. He's been a member of a team. PJ ain't left his house though. So,
well, that reminds me of the Keith Van Horn situation. He got traded.
Don't file the papers. Don't file the papers.
You never know. You might get that good call. Sit on the bike for 20 minutes a day and make $5 million.
Shee.
My goodness.
Man.
Yeah.
Thanks to Heartland Windows of Nebraska for sponsoring this segment, by the way. They're based in Hallam, Nebraska. They do everything for you. Their own team of installers. They offer a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and lifetime warranties on everything. Their prices are still affordable. You can check out heartlandofnebraskawindows.com or give them a call at 402-430-3852. One segment left for On the Block. We'll be back in a sec.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with Taco Night on Mondays or Whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solutions offers fleet services, as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2024 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
February is American Heart Month, and with heart disease as the #1 leading cause of death in Nebraska, now is the best time to start thinking about your health. Maintaining a healthy blood pressure is one of the best ways to avoid heart disease, and the blood pressure screening is fast, easy, and can be free. The best way to get screened is at your yearly wellness visit with your doctor. For more information and ways to get a blood pressure screening, search Chronic Disease Nebraska. Paid for by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Greens at 402-467-4444 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-467-4444.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
In today's digital world, you can never be too cautious when it comes to your security. Cyber attacks are affecting more businesses every day. At Hamilton Business Technologies, we understand the stress and impact a cyber attack can have, not just on your bottom line, but on your ability to serve your customers and protect their trust. That's why we are passionate about safeguarding your business. From real-time threat monitoring to advanced security protocols, we help keep your data safe, allowing you to focus on what matters most. Hamilton Business Technologies, real people, real technology solutions. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
No. Austin, did you hear that last commercial that just came on? I think Sip is a little who. Sir. He can't do. Man, we need to have the Champ is Here contest. Me and Sip
shoot out with Strick and
Sip. I need to bust him upside the head to the white.
How about this? You get that set up, we'll make it happen.
We need to do that. I think I need
to
good. Get him. Okay. What's up, man? We another great day on the block.
Ain't that the truth? Don't forget, we are here 3 to 5 now, not 2 to 4.
Shout out to Uncle Kevin.
Thanks to everyone who has made the switch to 3 to 5 with us. You're making it go great. We really appreciate you.
That's a fact.
We also appreciate Love Volleyball Omaha for their sponsorship of the final segment of our shows. League One Volleyball Omaha's inaugural season is underway. Don't miss your chance to see Olympians, national team players, and national champs with Love Volleyball Omaha. Season runs through April, but get your single match tickets today for upcoming matches at lovboma.com. John and Cortland, you've been with us all show. Appreciate that. Augie says, Austin is always dookie. I mean, come knock me off my pedestal, Mr. Carolina. Come at me, Augie. Come at me. That's all I'm going to say. Patrick, thanks for listening. 3994 as well. A couple things to get to here from the text line. 3576 says, please stop shaming John Cook. He basically single-handedly revolutionized the sport of volleyball in America. I was doing after-school pickup, and my daughters thought your take on the Huskers and John Cook were about as bad as they could get.
How?
That's my thing. You know, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I didn't think we dissed John Cook. We were trying to credit Danny Busboom Kelly. We understand, we recognize everything John Cook did for Nebraska.
Yeah.
4 national titles and 12 Final Fours.
How did we
respect, we appreciate. We just wonder if it was time.
That's
like John Cook said.
That's like taking the comment I said about Coach Osborne and say we thought he's the worst coach ever because I said something about how the game has changed. What that to me is blowing me. Pause. That's a wild statement right there. Whoever that was, I don't know. That's crazy.
Because I promise the last thing that I want to do is today of all days, I mean this week of all weeks, be the one that, tries to nitpick John Cook's resume. Unimpeachable.
Facts.
Unimpeachable.
Yeah.
He's the best.
Yeah.
We said as much. We believe as much. Like he's John Cook. We understand right now what he means to the university, what he means to volleyball. And here's the thing, Strick.
And you're going to be stuck just like Nebraska has been for so long because you're so Osborne stuck that you want the success. It's no different. It's a crazy dynamic to me. Like for example, like a new president will come in and you want the new president to fail.
Right.
Or a new CEO will come in, and because you were so geeked on the last CEO that you can't talk about the new one because the old. That's wild to me. That's wild. I don't know. I'm just thinking.
It is. Mad respect, mad props to John Cook for everything he did.
Yeah.
That is all true. That is all factual. We are taking nothing away from that. What can also be true is that maybe it was time for Danny Busboom Kelly to take over. Maybe. We'll see. Because like Strick just brought up, it's very astute. Volleyball has to handle this transition better than football did. Not like football even did poorly, right? Frank Solich had a pretty good run at Nebraska, all things considered. There's a reason we talk about Steve Peterson firing Frank Solich, because it wasn't the right decision. I mean, Frank Solich had Nebraska in a national championship game, 4 years after they won one? Pretty good for a first-time head coach of a varsity program in a blue blood, right? Frank Solich did some pretty darn good work at Nebraska. But then things slipped. Partially because, hey, guess what? The record did go down a little bit. I'm not saying Frank Solich didn't deserve the chance to build it back up, but administration rushed to a decision. Nebraska's administration has to get this decision right. Football's bigger. It's Big Brother. We get it. We understand the dynamics and how it works. But Nebraska volleyball is in almost as powerful a position.
Mount Rushmore territory.
And probably just as dominant culturally in women's sports as Nebraska football was for that sport.
Yeah.
You cannot afford to biff this transition. Doesn't seem like they did, but like we say all the time, Strick, only time will tell, because nothing is a sure thing in sports.
There it is. Well said, Austin.
Let's call it a show. How about that?
Love it.
What's coming up on WTF tonight, Stricky?
WTF, man, we're gonna definitely talk about what transpiring with the upcoming Super Bowl. What's going on there? We're gonna definitely have some segments with what's it called? What's our favorite segment? OG perspective. We're gonna talk about that and just have a good time. Talk about Patrick Mahomes versus Hurts, that matchup. And it's definitely gonna be Super Bowl laden. Let me just say
there we
that.
go.
Yeah,
there we go. Sure, we'll talk some more Super Bowl tomorrow during On the Block from 3 to 5. Thanks to Nebco for sponsoring our show. You can check them out at nebcoinc.com. They're hiring constructors and mechanics. Again, NEBCOINC.com. For Strick, I'm Austin. Thanks for tuning in. We got Old School coming your way in just a moment.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through February 11th is $2 off burgers, limit of 2, 20% off sauces and spices, and 5 pounds of 75/25 ground beef for $20, limit of 2 while supplies last. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th